This conference will now be recorded.
Hello.
Hi, Bashrat.
Hi. How are you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
Okay.
Just give me 1 minute, please.
Yep. Take your time.
Okay. So, Bashrat, do you have any questions, queries of what we have done so far since Sunday? Oh, sorry, Saturday.
Uh, no, nothing I can think of as of now.
Okay. Um, you received yesterday. I shared you the guide, right?
Correct.
Let me see if that was the manual or okay, that was the student manual. I'm gonna share you.
Mhm.
Just give me 1 sec. I'm gonna share you the exercise guide, okay?
Okay.
What I want you to do now, I want you to practice that load balancing, okay?
Okay.
I will try and give you the access. Just check on your WhatsApp. I've shared you the PDF. So if you see, if you open the PDF, the exercise guide, right? You will see, you can see my screen, right?
Yes, it's visible.
I want you to practice this one, module number 5, okay?
All right.
Can you see module number 5?
Yeah.
So you'll see GUI, 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 and GUI. So, and the other one is CLI. So I want you to practice the GUI one, okay? So you just
Okay.
follow this GUI part. You
Okay.
go through this, what they want in the lab, what we are going to do, right?
Okay.
And take, this should not take you more than an hour or so, okay?
All right.
So I want, let me see if I can give you the control from here so you can do the lab, right? Okay. So
Okay.
what, just go through this exercise. I mean, don't just start the lab. First read through this, okay?
Right.
Because you know when you read through this, you'll understand what you are going to do and what you should do in the labs. Instead of you going, you open the lab, then you read the PDF, then you for the first step, then you go back to the lab, then you do the first step, then you come back to the second step, right?
Right. Right.
So just go through. Let's say this is the first service that you're gonna create, right? the servers.
Okay.
All right, so you read through this, and then you're gonna and then read through the first exercise
All right.
and test this, right? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and you can skip this the monitors. Okay, you can skip the monitors part. Yeah, if you want to do, you can do it, but just skip it.
All right.
Okay, because the monitor part will confuse you a bit here.
Okay.
Okay, so just skip the whole of this monitor, and uh, all you do is when you go back on the top here, once you finish uh, this one, you just when you come to the HTTP monitors, you just leave that. You come back to the DNS, and then you do the DNS exercise, right?
Okay.
And then you skip the monitors for the DNS. Okay, then you just go back up and you do the HTTP for the LDAP. But I would say that you do HTTP, LDAP, and MySQL. Okay, these are the three main things that you should do: HTTP, LDAP, and MySQL. You can skip the DNS part
Okay.
because we in production we really don't load balance DNS servers.
Okay. Okay. Brilliant.
So you can do HTTP, LDAP, and MySQL, right?
Right.
So you can open your PDF, go through it, and let me know once you're ready, so I can try and give you the control, right?
So I'll go module by module, right? I mean lab by lab. So
No, no, not module lab by lab. You'll go
complete all
here.
three of them, and then
Sorry?
you want me to read all the three labs, and
No,
then go,
yeah, for the module 5, yes.
yes, five
Okay.
one, 5 3, 5 4.
Yeah, so specifically the steps. I want you to read the steps and understand the steps.
Okay. All
So, for example, you're going to create the server for HTTP. You read this step, right? Now
right.
you're
Right.
going to create services for HTTP. You read the steps, right, sir?
Right. Right.
Okay. Then now you're going to create a virtual server for HTTP. You read the step,
Mm-hmm.
and you know that's basically. Then you're going to test the load balancing server, right?
Yeah.
You're going to configure the persistence. Once you're done with the persistence, forget about the monitors at the moment. Yeah.
Okay.
So once you're done with this persistence, then all you do is go back and read the second. As well, if you read one, then you'll understand the rest.
Okay. Okay.
Just read one of the one, and then you see creating the server services is going to be the same thing.
Okay. Sure. All right.
So let me know once you are ready, right?
Okay.
Bashat, I hope you have two screens, right?
Yes. Yes.
Great. So on one screen you have the meeting opened up, and on the other one you open the PDF
Correct.
lab guide. Yeah.
Yeah. So skip the text for monitors as well.
Hi, Bashar, you saying something?
Yeah. Should I skip the text as well for monitors?
Yeah,
Okay.
but you will read the text of monitors when you are going to read for MySQL, okay?
Oh, MySQL. All right. Okay.
Because for that you need the monitors.
Okay. Okay, sir. I'm done with the HTTP.
Okay, do you want to read the SQL one now? The other one as well?
Okay. If it's
Okay.
going to be the same thing, yeah, I'll go ahead with it. And
Yeah, it's basically the same thing for the LDAP. The only thing is you're going to create a service group, right?
okay.
I want you to read the MySQL one then.
Okay. Regarding the LDAP, sir, I was like, is LDAP does
Sorry?
any load balance LDAP? Like, because I haven't heard of that before.
Yeah, you can read that also then.
Okay.
Okay. Bashrat, you done?
Yes.
Okay, just give me 1 minute, please. I'm just going to spin up the labs.
All right.
I am going to give you the control once the lab is up and running. So you tell me whether you got then we can test whether you got the control or not, right?
All right.
Let me ask in the group if they can give you the control. Or let me try to give you the control, but it's asking me to do certain things in the click start system preference. Click on the lock in order to make changes. Log in.
Having a call. Just give me a minute, please.
Okay.
Where is it? There
Bashar, you should have control.
Yeah, sorry. Tell me.
You have the control. Can you try and see?
No, I believe you shared, but then now it's gone. I was on the call. I At the time I got here, this is gone. I don't see this.
Can you? Is there a way you can request the control?
Uh,
No, I don't see the control here. I think you are the. Okay, hold on.
but I don't see your sharing is not there either. I think you'll need to share again.
Okay, I'm gonna try and give you the control again. See if you got it.
Take, yeah, okay.
Now try and access this lab environment. Can you try it? Can you click on the control Alt Delete here?
Clicking, but I'm not sure if it is working.
Yeah, it is.
It is okay.
And then click on the username, and then right on the right side you click on the username. I will stop controlling. Can you see on the right side there is username?
Yeah, I'm clicking there.
No, on now click on that.
Yeah,
And then click on the password, and on the right side click on that password, and then you log in and you're fine now. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to mute myself. I'll be watching you do the lab, right? Just give me 1 second. I'm going to move the mouse and mute, right?
Okay.
So if you need any help, let me know. I will unmute.
Yeah, sure. So I'll be using the Chrome, right? Chrome browser.
Yes. I'm just going to mute myself now.
Is the password different? NSRoot is not working.
If NSRoot is not working, then I will put another password in the chat box. That should work, yeah?
Okay.
This one is the one. Check in the chat box. This is the another password that they use, okay?
Okay. Okay. I think.
Spelling is wrong, green.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with I think your Mac. And I'm trying to enter EE. It
Okay,
seems
let me
to,
enter it for you. Hold on.
yeah, seems to be opening up the smileys.
Okay, now I think you got some sticky keys enabled.
Okay.
Let me just mute myself.
Okay.
Spelling is wrong. And did you not create the service before? LMP, NYC,
Yes, yes.
NYC,
This is the second one. I'm creating the second one.
SVC underscore NYC. Yeah, now just put 002. That's it. And
Right.
existing server. Existing server. Last one. Protocol MySQL. Port 33, I think 06. I will mute myself now, okay?
Okay. Excuse me, so where is the query tab?
The one on the top, the play button on the top. Yeah. No, there is a problem. Can I just have a look?
Yeah, please.
You're doing the testing, right?
Right. I think the text is going missing when I'm typing.
Hold on, I will just check for you. I think there's a problem with the query.
Yes.
See, there is this problem here. Uh,
Yes.
this one you missed from. Select from actors where actors dot last name underscore name equals to Tazova, right?
Correct.
No, there you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna mute myself.
Mhm.
Hold on, I think, and basically you are done with this as well.
Yes. Only the monitors part remains.
Yeah, you can just leave the monitor part of it, right?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So that's it. You let me know if you have any queries on this.
Nope. Looks good.
Looks good. So do you want to also do module number 1 and 2 labs?
Uh,
The initial setup and the HA, the networking, initial setup, networking, and HA,
Initial setup.
the one that we did on Saturday.
Okay. Uh, I'll look into the lab, sir. If there's any
Sorry?
doubt, then I'll let you know. Yeah.
Look in the lab guide and let me know if you want to do module 1 and 2 and module 4 in labs if you want to do.
Okay.
Just have a look in the guide and let me know.
All right. Uh, I'll just take a quick break and I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Okay, so can I end this lab?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
No worries.
Okay, let me know once you're back, yeah?
Okay. Okay, sir. I'm back.
Okay, so you wanna do another lab?
Uh, I'll look at it after the class tomorrow and I'll let you know if needed.
Okay, so all right, then I will start with SSL offload.
Okay. So this one, I think this the lab guide is for 223, right? That's why it's only
It's up to the troubleshooting.
yes.
Yeah. All right, so I am going to now tell you on this SSL offload, right? Now, for SSL offload, first of all, you need to have a certificate, okay? And you need to install it. You need to install the root certificate in the NetScaler, all right?
Okay.
Because you need to have the NetScaler trusted for it to do the SSL offload, right, sir? Okay.
come again, please? Can you
Sorry.
repeat? I didn't hear you.
For the NetScaler to do the SSL offload, it should have a root certificate so that it can be trusted.
Okay.
Now you can have your public CA. Okay, you can get the certificate from your public CA, or you might be having a CA of your own in your organization,
Okay.
right?
Right.
So first of all, we're gonna be working with TLS. All right, there's no longer SSL, and we are going to secure the connections using HTTPS and HTTP, right?
Mhm.
And the PKI actually uses a combination of your symmetric and asymmetric cryptography. That means it requires a public key and a private key. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So the private key is used to encrypt the data, and the public key is used to decrypt the data, right? Okay.
All right.
So how does the SSL session happens? When the client sends a hello packet, it is sending the protocol version, the session ID, its cipher suite, and the compression method that it is using, right? Okay. Are we good, sir?
Okay.
And then the server will also send it a hello packet with the certificate and the server hello done. All right. Even the server will send the certificate to the client and request the client to send his certificate. The server will also exchange his protocol. It will exchange the cipher suite that it is using. All right.
Okay.
And then there is a key exchange that is going to happen where the client is sending the certificate response as requested. They are exchanging the cipher suite specifications as well on this. And then once it is finished and they see that, okay, the cipher suite that they are using is compatible, then there will be a handshake. So once there is a handshake, your site will open up, which is a secure site, right?
Okay.
Okay. So once you have a in the physical box, you will have a SSL chip that you will have to configure first. Okay. But in the virtual appliance, we are going to create a virtual server of SSL offload. Okay.
Mhm.
Are we good, Bashar?
Yes.
All right. So it is basically to give you high performance, high throughput, and to reduce the load on the server so that the server is free from encryption and decryptions, right?
All right.
So if you go with the ADX, MPX, and SDX box, 26,200, it can do bulk encryption at 120 Gbps uh, bulk encryption, and it can do 600,000 SSL handshake every second with the 2048-bit keys. Okay,
Okay.
good. So the
Yes.
box, it can handle 600,000 SSL handshake every second, and it can do 120 gig per second of bulk encryption.
Mhm.
And 120 gig per second of bulk encryption. That's a lot, right?
Okay.
So the connection between the client and the ADC is secure, and the connection between the ADC and the server is i- on HTTP. No SSL encryption. All right.
Okay.
How do you identify if a site is using SSL?
Mm, I think the easiest approach is to look for the uh,
The lock.
yeah, the lock in the browser. Correct.
Yes. So you will see a lock. All right. It will display a lock, right?
Yes.
And how I'm going to configure the SSL? Basically, you need a certificate from your public CA. You can use an existing certificate, or you can do a self-signed certificate from the NetScaler, right? And
Right.
this is the one that I'm going to use in the lab, right? Okay.
Okay.
So you go with the okay, VeriSign is DigiCert. You can go with Kaspersky, Google Link. There are a lot of public CA that you can use, right? Okay.
Mhm.
And generally, I've seen a lot of company use DigiCert.
Okay.
Okay, so you can request your certificate from DigiCert.
All right.
So we're going to create a SSL. Okay, from here, go to the SSL and click on this server certificate wizard. I'm going to create this SSL certificate, the root key, the serial key, the CSR. All right, so also going to do the CSR, create the root key, create the root certificate, and we are going to install the root certificate in the NetScaler. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so all the private keys are stored in the ADC for decrypting your SSL sessions. You need the private key. If your private key is compromised, then you need to change the certificate. Okay,
All right.
have you good, sir?
Yeah.
So if you have an existing one, you can just import your certificate from here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If not, then you can create a self sign from the NetScaler here. So we are going to use the certificate signing request. This
Okay.
is basically the information you're going to provide about your company and what certificate and why you need the certificate, right?
Okay.
Okay. It's like how you fill a form for account opening and stuff like that. Similar to that.
All right.
This is your CSR. You're going to select your file name. You're going to give the key file name. You're going to give the key format. You're going to give, if there's a password, what would be the digest method, your domain name here, the country, the state, the organization name, which city you are in, the email ID, organizational unit, your domain name here, okay. And if there's a password, you click on the password and you create that. So this is your CSR. This is the information that you're going to provide to obtain a certificate.
Okay.
Are we good, sir?
Yes.
So this is your SSL certificate. We need a root CA certificate because we want to identify the CA. You need the intermediate certificate. This is to link your third party SSL providers. Like, let's say you have a domain called abc.com, but you're hosting something on GoDaddy. So you're going to use the intermediate certificate to make GoDaddy trusted domain in with your domain, right?
Okay.
Okay. So, and you need the server certificates on the servers and client certificates optional to securely identify the client. That means you will install the client certificate on the client machine so that we can trust the client also.
Okay.
Okay. So this is going to be in PAM or DR format, and it can also support PKCS #12 format as well. So we normally go with the PAM in the NetScaler.
Okay.
All right, and this is after we have created all the file name, key file name, and root certificate. This is now we are going to install the certificate on the NetScaler, right?
Okay.
Okay, are we good, sir?
Yes.
And this is your intermediate certificate linking, some public CA like GoDaddy and Trust that should be trusted by all your computers and mobile devices. So you just go and link that certificate here. That
Okay.
means your domain will now trust this third party certificate also and the third party domain, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
And you need to have a revocation list in order. This is your certificate revocation list. If your certificate has been expired, breached, blacklisted, so you create a revocation list so that the your CA does not issue that certificate again.
Okay.
And keep updating your certificate if they are expiring or something, or you need to replace the certificate because you're changing the company name, the domain name, or if your certificate has been compromised, then you need to change the certificate, right? And as I said, approximately 70 to 80% of the company don't like to use wildcard certificate,
Okay.
because if your wildcard certificate get compromised, then you know it's gonna affect all your services,
Mhm.
right?
Okay.
And these are your wildcards that we don't. This is basically star dot whatever your domain is. For example, star.google.com. So everything about Google will be trusted.
All right.
All the subdomains will be trusted. But in production, even I do not give wildcard certificate.
Mhm.
I can, but I just ask the client if they want to go with the wildcard or they want to go with individual certificates for individual services.
Okay.
You can use SAN. That means it will support multiple domain names. So you don't have to be from the same domain. You can be from different domains. So you can use SAN. That is your subject alternate name. Uh, then the SAN field is required, but I don't see any company having two domains or more than two domains, right?
Yeah.
I can just use intermediate certificate linking and I can have that domain trusted. So you can upload your uh, certificates as well.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay.
Uh, Using your SNI. SNI is basically the state of server name indication. That's a feature on your virtual server. All right. Where you have multiple.
Your voice is breaking up now, sir. I don't hear you. Seems like an everyday problem.
Bashar, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, it's back.
Oh, you had the audio thing again?
Yeah, I wasn't hearing you again.
Okay. So now you're able to hear me, right?
Right. Right.
No, I thought because I saw you muted. That's why I'm asking you.
No, no, I was not hearing you. I said that I cannot hear you a couple of times. Then I saw the screen share stop.
Now you
I,
can see
yeah.
the share.
No, I don't see your screen now.
You don't see the screen,
Yeah.
but it's being shared. Share screen. Now you can see it.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So we're gonna look at the SSL offload overview, right?
Okay.
So first we're gonna do an HTTPS from the client to the ADC and then HTTP to the backend server, right?
Okay.
This is basically encrypted from the front end and not encrypted at the back end, right?
All right.
So first you're gonna make sure that your SSL offload feature is enabled. Enable the offload feature, create all your HTTP TCP services. You're gonna create your SSL virtual server, right? And install the certificate. If you have the certificate, it will ask you for the key. You're gonna bind the certificate to the virtual server and bind it to the services, right?
Okay.
If you don't have the certificate, you need to obtain the certificate where you're going to obtain the key and the certificate, then add it to your SSL certificate key, right? Okay. And thereafter, when you use SSL offload, which is your SSL based virtual server that will intercept and process all the SSL traffic to your service bound virtual server. So it will accept all the encrypted traffic, de-encrypt the traffic, and all your SSL service that is bound will re-encrypt the traffic to the backend. all right, if it is binded to the SSL. So that means it will create another session of SSL to the backend. But if it is binded to the HTTP server, it will just send that unencrypted traffic to the backend.
Okay.
Are we good, sir?
Yeah.
All right. So whenever you're going to configure SSL offload, you're going to create a virtual server type SSL. And SSL server will be used to terminate the point for the client connection. And SSL certificate is bound to the virtual server. So you need to give me a valid root certificate, valid certificates, so that it can help us in doing the SSL handshake, right?
Okay.
So your termination points can be on, you can terminate your SSL on the Citrix ADC, you can end it on your web server or the gateway server. So these are your bind point or termination points. So whenever the request is coming from the user, it can bind to any one of these.
Okay.
Okay. So I can have a front end SSL with back end HTTP, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can have front end SSL with back end SSL also. That means another session is created. I can have a front end TCP over SSL with back end TCP if your applications are using TCP, right? Or I
Okay.
can do the bridging where the ADC will not decrypt the traffic, it will just send it as it is to the backend server.
Okay.
Good, sir.
So, just to understand, yes, like in our environment, what we have is like for certain, let's say, I mean, to give you an example, for Exchange, um, we applied the SSL certificate, and then the load balancer team they applied the certificate. So, if I'm hitting the server directly, I
Mhm.
see the certificate that is being applied has a different expiry. The whole thumbprint, the serial number, the date of expiry is different compared to the certificate that has been applied on the load balancer side.
Yeah. So it's sending it back to the backend server as as the traffic as the default traffic, right?
Okay.
You might not be offloading it on the ADC. It is just taking the traffic as it is and passing it onto your backend Exchange server.
Yes. No. What the team says is for Exchange they are offloading it, but
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is for me as an end user, is there a way that I can figure out if the published site is by looking at the certificate or something that if
No.
there is no way for me to know if this is offloading or bridging?
No. If you as an end user, I can give you that. That means you can come into my network.
Uh,
The whole purpose of SSL offload is for me to not to tell you what server we are using.
okay. And then
If,
what
if
is the
I'm
case
going to
with
tell you that,
bridging?
if I'm going to tell you that, then there's no purpose of even putting a firewall.
See, this part is very confusing to me actually because what I've heard from our team is like for some of the services they say this is bridging. So
Yes.
the certificate it's taking the encryption decryption is happening on your server, nothing to do
Yes.
with the load balancer.
So
But
that is not bridging.
yeah,
They might have just created another way of putting. You see, uh, this is one session that you're going to create as SSL. Okay.
okay,
Another session is I can also create another SSL session to the backend from the ADC. Okay, even in this scenario, the client does not know the backend server, and the backend server does not know the client until or unless when you say bridging, this is why I'm using layer 2. So it will just pass the traffic as it is without doing anything to the backend server. Anything to the traffic, it will just pass the traffic to the backend server. That's it. That is bridging.
yeah. So in bridging, I believe there is no inspection or interruption to the traffic,
Yeah,
and it
it will just
directly
go.
goes.
Yes, yes.
So from the browser, the certificate that I see, it should be the one that is implemented on the server.
Not exactly.
Okay. Yeah, because until last year this was the behavior. Now this year I'm seeing a different behavior, so I'm pretty confused after
No,
we.
I don't have to show you my server certificate. I can still use the ADC certificate because I've made the ADC certificate to trust the server certificate, and I've made the server certificate to trust the ADC.
Okay.
Remember, it's a wildcard certificate.
Correct.
So even your server is using the same certificate.
Okay.
And that is the thing with the wildcard, because now your ADC is using the same certificate, your server is using the same certificate. You will not know whether it's bridging. You will not see a difference in the certificate until or unless you decided to use a separate certificate for that service, not
So
wildcard.
what happened in our case was the team responsible for issuing the certificate. They initially issued the certificate, and then later on they had to add some additional. I don't know really what was the. I mean, like it's a wildcard certificate. I am not sure what was the need to reissue it again. So they issued another certificate 2 months later. So if we
Okay.
compare the two certificates, the serial number is different, the thumbprint is different, the expiry date, there's a difference of 2 months between both of them. Now, what the team did is they shared this originally the first certificate that was generated with the load balancer team, and then the newly issued certificate with us. So we went on to apply the new certificate at our end, and they applied the old certificate at the load balancer side.
Right.
Now, for me as an exchange admin, I to make sure the certificate is properly applied and working, I hit the exchange servers directly through
Mhm.
hostname or IP to check individually the nodes, the certificate that is been applied on the OA and ECP and all those services is the new certificate. So when I do that, I see the new certificate, which is supposed to be like expiring 2 months after, and a year, almost a year from now.
Right.
But the certificate, if I go by the main load balancer URL or the IP, I see a certificate that is going to expire 2 months earlier because that certificate, the older one, was shared with them.
Yes.
So now my doubt here is because uh, the last year what happened was well, only in case of exchange because they said this is offloading. So if I go by the URL or by the load balancer IP, I would see, or from outside when I'm accessing from outside the network, I would see the load balancer certificate. But if I
Yes.
am accessing inside through the host name or IP, I see the internal certificate. The
Right. So
one
that
that is
that means they have given you. They have created a policy that says if you're coming from the internal, which is this IP, they're gonna is hitting on another service that is binded to the internal certificate.
okay.
See, the game here is also about the policy, not just the certificate. Because when you come internally and I see that you're hitting from an internal IP that I've specified in the policy, that means it will give you the internal certificate because that policy and that is binded onto that virtual server. Remember, you got a content switching server, right, in the front.
Yeah.
So I can bind a lot of policies to that content switching and say, right, if the IP is from outside, you take it to the other server. If the IP is from the inside, you take it to the internal server. Are we good now?
Yes, but the confusion stays from the other scenario as well, because on the other hand, for any of the other services that were configured as they say to be SSL bridging,
Hmm.
what we found is the certificate that I had applied on the server that would be visible regardless where I access from, inside or outside, through internet or through load balancer URL, anything, I would see the certificate that I have applied on the server. But now
Say that again.
I would see the certificate that, because I'm
If
not
they
sure
have
if
done
this
the
is,
bridging, right?
sorry,
They have done the bridging.
yes, they say it is bridging. And so, see, this is addition. I don't know if this is a best practice being followed here, or this is some additional thing they are doing to, make things more secure. Maybe, I'm not sure about it. That
Mhm.
every year we are in this situation where we see that they have a different certificate and we have a different certificate, and
Who
then
who is having a different certificate and who is having a different certificate?
the security team that would
Yeah.
be applying the certificate on the load balancer, and
Okay.
us as the application team where we will be applying the certificate on the server.
Right. And
Now,
that's fine. I mean, you they have just linked, and maybe they have just used the policy. You see, I cannot just tell you because I need to see what is happening. I'm just taking a guess that okay, they have created a policy. It is not just the certificate. They have probably also created policies. And say, for I'm coming from this IP or this IP or this department, you just go to that and give me this certificate. You see, certificate is just one part. Then the other part is your policies.
okay,
So it depends because I need to see how they have configured because one I can they can be adding the server certificates, and then after that they will say okay, this is the policy for it, because you will be adding the policies as well. You see, it's not just you having certificates; it's all about policies as well together with the certificate.
okay, okay.
You get my point.
Yeah, yeah,
See,
I got your point. It's not
like
just
yeah, yeah, like yesterday when I showed you that, right?
yes.
Uh, the image. You see,
In,
I'll show you one more the image. Okay, this is for the OVA, right? And we have already added a certificate to this.
right.
And after that, I've created the profile and the policy for this on the content switching.
Okay,
So it's just not one certificate. What configuration is done is the certificate plus your content switching plus the policies.
okay.
So it's a combination of a lot of things. It's not just one certificate. That's it. Because they might have created policies and say, okay, these are the IPs. If they see you coming from a particular IP, they will hit onto another virtual server, which will give you another certificate, right?
Yes, okay.
So that is how it also works. So here, I've got the SSL in the front and backend HTTP, so I can configure the virtual server and the service as HTTP, right?
Hmm.
I've got the other one, which is full front end SSL and back end SSL also. So the service will be HTTPS. So here is basically one session of HTTPS from the client to the ADC, and another one to the from the ADC to the backend, another session of HTTPS, right?
Okay,
And if I want to do TCP, I can also use the TCP over SSL. The service will be SSL underscore TCP, and backend will be TCP, right?
okay.
And this is your bridge. You know what happens in the bridge, right?
Yeah, but I'm still having my doubt in terms of, from the application perspective, because
Now you need to show me your console. That's I then I can tell you.
mm, yeah,
Because what is happening is if I do SSL bridges, basically I'm going directly
okay,
passing through the ADC.
correct.
You see, you have seen how we have created services. So like this, you can be creating over service, exchange service, and for and with those services on virtual server, you'll be creating a content switching Then you're going to add those content switching, you're going to add the policies, and you're going to define the server certificates. So a lot of things is dependent on that.
Yeah, but I mean this seems like a more tricky thing. Maybe it's not completely related to load balancer. Maybe it's more about the certificate itself.
No,
Because
it's more about certificate plus the policies.
okay,
It's not just certificate. It's more about, and it's not even load balancing. You've already done. Now you what you're playing with is the certificate and the policies that you're going to create for your load balancing virtual servers or your content switching. You
okay,
see, one part is you have created virtual servers. That's it, finished, right?
hmm,
Another part is for you to create policies, because now in the policies I can tell, okay, if you come from this particular IP, go to that particular service.
okay,
So it's now the whole game of the this one, like I was just showing you now. Okay, you see here, this is now I can here I can even specify the IP address if I wanted to, right?
hmm,
Okay, I can specify the IP address.
yes,
So it's not just the game of load balancing. It's a game with the load balancing plus certificate plus policies.
okay,
You see, I've not hit the policies yet. We have not even doing the policies. Whenever you're going to take the professional level course, you're going to go more into policies.
okay,
Okay, even in this one on day 4 and 5, I'll be touching just the basics of the policies.
okay,
You need to understand that concept,
hmm,
because I can give you a VPN server. You see, I can give you an SSL bridge because you might be coming from outside, and I give you a VPN server.
okay,
This is your SSL bridge, allows all secure traffic to be bridged transparently and directly to the backend web server, right?
okay,
That means it is not terminating or offloading the traffic.
correct,
That what you guys are saying, that it's a bridge. That means the traffic is going directly to the backend server. It is just passing through the ADC.
right. Yeah, but maybe because I'm getting an idea now that maybe the interception or the inspection of the traffic is a different thing, and SSL, the certificate thing, is a different thing. I was thinking,
No, no, it's totally different.
yeah, I was thinking them to be, interrelated somehow.
The SSL offload, if you want to do SSL offload, then you need to have a certificate installed, or your NetScaler root certificate to be there. Okay.
Okay,
And the certificate, you see, how do I know you are a valid person in your company?
okay,
What proof can you give me that you are a employee of your organization? What proof can you give me?
mm. Yeah, obviously, like if it's, you mean the SSL, like the
Forget
certificate.
SSL. Forget SSL.
Uh-huh.
What proof can you give me, Bashrat, that you are an employee of your company? Let's say your
Okay,
ABC company. What proof can you give me? How can I trust you that you are an employee of ABC?
I think the ID card for a
The
start.
ID card, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. How would you trust the NetScaler?
through the certificate, I believe.
Right. So certificate is just a part of identity, right?
Hmm.
Now with the identity, you're going to do SSL offload. So I want to trust you, the NetScaler, right? That
Okay,
means the NetScaler should provide me the certificate, right, sir?
okay,
And that is why I'm going to install the certificate. When I do the SSL offload, I'm going to install the NetScaler certificate, right?
yeah,
So now I will be trusting. So if I'm going to do SSL to the backend also, that means I need to have a certificate on the backend server.
okay,
Now that certificate can also be a wildcard, because you have installed the wildcard certificate on an NetScaler, and it's the same wildcard certificate on the server, right? Yes.
Sorry, again, please.
And now I can have a wildcard and install the wildcard certificate, the same wildcard certificate on the NetScaler and the same wildcard certificate on the server, right?
Yes.
Or I can have a different certificate on the NetScaler and a different certificate on the server, and I make both of them trusted.
Right.
So those are the way you're gonna be doing your certificates, right?
But from an application perspective, uh, let's say maybe they are making it because I have 3 or 4 scenarios which are I understand from your point, and it could be a lot of policies, but we did multiple things. Like in case of exchange, uh, as there are services that are usually assigned to the certificate, so we need to upload the certificate to the servers and map, assign the services in the IIS and through the PowerShell command.
Yes. Yes.
At the same time, now if I'm accessing it uh, through OVA, I see the certificate that is been applied on the load balancer side.
Right.
So this is one scenario where regardless, I mean, they are applying the
Now,
certificate
hold
on
on.
load balancer.
Hold on. You said one scenario is where you apply the certificate on the exchange server, right?
Yes,
That means you're going to be looking for a word called exchange in the header, right?
I'm not sure
I'm
why would I
telling
do. Yeah, okay,
exchange and over are two different things that is provided by your mail server exchange, okay?
okay,
When you say exchange, that is going to the server, right? Using an application or an agent or installed on your client, right?
okay,
That will have a separate certificate. Then if you say over, that means when you type on the URL and you say /over, in the header it goes over. As a
right,
request, it will say over, right? Then it will be hitting onto a different service which will have a different certificate.
okay.
You get the point.
But from the server, we are applying the PowerShell. I mean, through PowerShell and assigning the services IIS. So OVA is through IIS.
Well, anything over the web is going to be either over IIS or Apache.
Right. So
No.
I mean, we are specifically
Sir,
applying the
sir,
certificate.
have a listen to this.
Hmm.
If you're coming from the browser and you're going to say HTTPS, right,
Yeah,
in your URL and say abc.com/over, right?
yeah.
This is what is written in the header.
Okay,
I am looking at this over, right? Okay, and when I see in the NetScaler in my content switching, when I'm seeing this request coming onto the content switching, you already have created a service for over.
right.
Because of that, it will direct the traffic to that over, and this service is binded with another certificate. Okay.
Yes.
Now, if you're going to be using Outlook,
Hmm.
okay, which is your mail agent or your application, right?
Client. Yes. Mail
That
client.
that header requesting the header is totally different to over. It's probably gonna write exchange, okay?
Correct. Yes.
So it will still go to the content switching server, and content switching server will read the header and say it is reading as exchange, right?
Hmm.
Exchange. I don't know what they write it in header. Just say it's looking at this. So when
Okay.
it is exchange, then there is another service for exchange that is created, right?
Right.
With a different certificate, but both of them are binded to your same active sync.
Okay.
Okay, and they are binded to your mail server in the backend.
Hmm.
So I can be using two different certificates for the same thing.
Okay.
It is just what I'm reading in the header.
Yeah, yeah. But this part is clear to me. I think you did not get my point because
Let me hear that again.
yeah. See, for exchange, what I was we have. Let me give example of 4 different applications. Okay. So one of them is exchange, where I have to compulsorily I have to update the certificate on the server level,
Right.
and regardless the load balancer side, it has to be done for all services. Okay,
Right.
so once I am connecting from outside, because the request is coming to load balancer, I will see the certificate that has been applied from the load balancer.
Right.
Now there is our corporate website, which has been published through SharePoint.
Right.
So until last year, we used to change the certificate on the SharePoint as well, and the load balancer side as well. This year, I don't know what changed, that they just changed the certificate on load balancer and nobody did anything back on the servers, and it is working fine
Because of this.
because of bridge. Okay.
No, not because of bridge. Because of this intermediate certificate linking. You got the two certificate and we have linked it together to trust. If you have
Okay.
changed it on the NetScaler and I can still link it to your SharePoint, I don't need to change the certificate on the SharePoint. I'll just link it.
Okay.
You get me now? Because
Yeah.
see, you're using GoDaddy or Azure or SharePoint, right? I don't have to change that certificate. That is already valid. If I change the certificate on the ADC, I will just link it again to this GoDaddy or Azure or SharePoint. It will work because I've now trusted two different domains.
Okay.
That is what I was saying. This is intermediate certificate linking because n- from I'm trusting, I'm making the SharePoint or GoDaddy to be trusted by your domain. So that
Okay.
means I will have a certificate on the ADC plus I'll have of the ADC plus the certificate of your SharePoint, and I will link those two together so that they are trusting each other. That is, I don't need to change the certificate on the SharePoint. I can just change the certificate on the ADC.
Okay. Now, coming to a similar example, like I said, we have VDI and uh, virtual Zen server and the storefront, Citrix, everything.
Hmm.
The engineer, Citrix engineer, he logged into the servers and he updated the SSL certificate
On the
on the.
storefront.
Yes.
Yes.
Why is this required if the changing only the load balancer thing seems to suffice everything? I mean,
No, I didn't get it. Changing the load balancing certificate,
uh, we they applied the certificate on the load balancer, right? So
right?
it's working for all our services. What was the need to apply it on the storefront?
What was the need to apply on the storefront?
Yes.
Because your storefront is of the same domain, so maybe your certificate on the storefront expired or something on the ADC expired, or they wanted to change that certificate. And because you might not be using a wildcard certificate for that, it might be an individual service certificate. So maybe the certificate was expiring or something happened with the certificate. That's why they changed it.
Okay.
Because it might not be as a wildcard. So you have to find out what was the need to change that. Because
No, they applied the, like I said, they applied the wildcard certificate on the storefront as well. So this is what I'm trying to understand, because
well,
until
maybe something changed on the storefront, maybe something changed in the configuration in the NetScaler that your team can tell you why they changed that certificate.
the idea everyone is holding is because the certificate is expiring and it's being
Yes.
updated on load balancer, so we have to change it everywhere.
So that's what I'm saying because there's a lot of scenarios where you could be changing the certificate. One, it is totally out of service or is about to expire or the certificate has been compromised.
Hmm.
So that only your team can tell why they changed the certificate.
Okay.
Are we good now?
Yeah. And I
Hmm.
don't know if you are aware about ADFS.
Yeah.
So To again now give one last example about ADFS. In ADFS there are like you can have two or more servers. So
Yes.
one server is usually handling the internal or the on-network requests, and there's a the other version of it which is disconnected from the domain, what they call it the WAP server,
Right.
application proxy server, which is managing the external requests.
Mm-hmm.
So the internal one is published internally only for handling the inside network requests, while the external one is the one published through the public IP where any outside requests are received. So
You
once
know,
the
why
Mhm.
you use ADFS?
Yeah, for shifting the authentication load from from the Active Directory to ADFS, or using the
No.
single sign-on,
I,
or
I can shift the authentication to the NetScaler. I don't need to shift it to ADFS. ADFS is because you probably have two different domains.
no.
Go find out because you have two different domains.
Okay, in our scenario, like I believe when it's being used for internally to have the
Find out.
application.
Go tomorrow. Tomorrow, find out if
Yeah.
you are using an external domain.
External domain as in.
Let's say you are using an abc.com, for example, in your company, right?
Mhm.
Then you might have another domain called def.com.
No, for sure we don't.
Just find out because that's when you use the ADFS. ADFS is Active Directory Federation Services.
Yeah, I mean that is one possibility if you are federating with another domain.
Yes.
So you allow like a domain.
Otherwise, if you want to offload it, you can just give me maybe they're using it something. Just find out because before I can answer you that question, you find
Mhm.
out if you are having an external another domain.
No, no, we definitely don't have another domain.
Find out.
Okay.
I'm sure you can just find that out for me, right?
I'm the one handling it, so I'm pretty sure we are not using it for any other domain. The idea is uh, not for the trust relationship with another domain, but rather to allow single sign-on internally for the internal applications. So we are using the SAML features of it.
Yeah.
So
So
using
say you're using SAML, you're not using ADFS.
yeah, the ADFS part is integrated with with the Office 365, the
Yes.
cloud. So
Now I can understand because your Office 365 cloud is a totally different domain.
okay.
You see, when you go on to Office 365, your domain is something called Azure dot something, right? Or okay,
Yeah, our domain name at Microsoft.com.
yeah, and your local domain is something else, right?
Okay.
That is why you're using ADFS there.
Okay.
All right. So this is your SSL troubleshooting. Just make sure you have your delivery controllers, your ADCs, okay. Your components in the infrastructure are processing the SSL. Look at the usage and the expiry dates. Measure all the reports on the SSL performance. Use a trusted CA, and get rid of every insecure cipher protocols and suites. Right.
Uh, okay.
And we are going to we can go with the show SSL virtual server, show SSL certificate, SSL instance, SSL service. So this is the command line that you can be using. All
Uh,
right.
yeah, just a question is like the student guide that you shared with me. I'm trying to find this section, but it seems to be very detailed, I believe. So I can't reach this section. Or maybe the slides are different over in this guide.
No, no, no. It's not. It's the same.
It's not the same. Okay,
It's the same.
it's the same. Okay.
Yes. See, these are just command line to see what virtual SSL virtual server you're using, to show you the keys, to look at the SSL stats and SSL service. That's it. That you can even do from GUI.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and this is where you can go in and check all your TCP connection and look at all the connections of the TCP or the sessions, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Where the source IP is, the source port, destination port, service type, idle time, state, client server, right? So you
Yeah.
can check all that from your GUI.
Okay.
Then you can upload a license certificate and install. If in case you get this kind of a problem in your with your public CA, you might have to install the certificate first, right?
Okay.
Maybe there's a problem with the host name mismatch, and maybe your intermediate certificates are not linked properly. All right, you might be having an SSL virtual IP address issues or failure, so you'll be getting all this kind of errors, right?
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is what we gonna do, and I'm gonna now show you the lab, right?
Okay.
For the SSL offload.
So, I wanted to ask if it's possible to have, like a lab like this on Azure or something on the
Yes, it is.
market. So I can like make a.
Yeah, it is possible, but you need to get the license.
No, they don't allow like lab setup or something temporary.
No, you need the license for uh, the ADC,
Okay.
and then you need to have a subscription for Azure.
Yes.
Do you have a subscription for Azure?
Yeah, we do have subscription at
Who?
work.
That is the company. I mean, you as personally.
I attended two workshops maybe 2 months back. So they're going to be valid for another 6 months, I believe. So yeah, I could use that. Maybe I'll have to pay a little more.
It's better to pay, and then you have to create a virtual server inside. Okay.
Hmm. Okay.
And inside that virtual server, you have to create a nested virtualization. You need to enable the Hyper-V so you can put all your ADCs inside.
Okay.
Or if you got the money, you can, like Amazons and all, they have servers.
Yes.
I will show you one. Uh, for example, I'll show you one server that you can go. This is physical, because with the Azure, you might have to pay for the hard drive and storage. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is. and you see 14 Pro on Amazon. Let's say this is the one. This is the server that you can have. Okay, this is a very small server. Okay, as you can see, from 3.5 to 4,000 AED. But you need to
Just
purchase.
give me a second, please. I have
Huh?
someone. Give me a minute, please. I have someone at the door.
Okay.
Okay, I'm there.
So you see, you can get something like this. Okay, but you have to buy the SSD and the RAM.
All right.
So it can support up to 96 GB RAM,
Okay.
248, 248 GBs RAM. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and you can go with this, and then you need to you can go change the operating system and put more. This is you go two slots. You need to buy this, right?
Okay.
And obviously you need to buy the storage.
Okay.
So this can be a one-time investment for you,
Mm-hmm.
because with that you can now build a lab for your VDI, your ADCs and all, right?
Okay.
If you go on Azure, then they'll charge
Sorry, if I go on with Azure?
they will charge you monthly.
Ah, yes, correct.
Right, so I'm gonna log in and create a self-signed pass certificate, right?
Okay.
I'm gonna go under the traffic management now, this time under SSL, right? And once I go into SSL, you will see here, click on the server certificate wizard, right?
Okay.
And I'm going to create a key. You see here, this is the key that I was talking about that you need to create. I'm going to create something called colors.key. Colors is another company of Citrix, okay?
Okay.
Like Microsoft has Editum and Contoso, right?
Uh-huh. All right.
When you did the workshop, I'm sure you guys use Editum and Contoso as a domain.
Yes, yes.
So similarly, Citrix has another company called Colors. Okay, I'm going
Okay.
to leave it as 2048. Otherwise, you can even go with 1496, right?
All right.
And I'm gonna leave there 4 and PEM, and this is my PEM is gonna be AES 256, and the passphrase is password one.
Okay.
All right, so I've created the key and I'm going to confirm the passphrase, and I will create that, right?
Yeah.
Now it's asking for the CSR. Can you see that?
Okay.
All right,
Yes.
so I'm going to put in colors.csr, which is the file, right? Now you see the colors.key is here, but we want a full path. So I will select and go with the appliance, right?
Uh-huh.
In the appliance, you scroll down, you will see colors.key that is stored in the SSL root folder, right?
Okay.
Let me show you where it is stored. If I show you on WinSCP, you will understand it. This is where all your certificates are stored under root, nsconfig,
Hmm.
SSL, right?
Okay.
This is where it is stored,
All right.
right? So if you want to do a backup, you just take it from here.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, I have my own certificate for the storefront,
Okay.
right?
Right.
So that's why I was saying you need to add it onto the ADCs, for it to trust, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you see now it's going to be full path, right? Key file name appliance and full path, right, sir?
Yeah.
And it's going to be PEM, and I'm going to give the password,
Okay.
password one and SHA-256, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, subject alternate name, I will put as colors dot workspace lab.com, right? I will just leave it as United States, and the province I will say as California, right? All right, and organization name I will give Colors Training, and the common name that I will give is colors.workspacelab.com. All right, and password one. All right, and I will just create. So now I have created what? The CSR, right? Now I'm going to create I don't want to download, so I will say no. Now I need to create the key. I'm going to generate the SSL certificate, right? So auditing type is the server, as you can see right here. All right, and I'm going to choose the file here. So here I'm going to say colors.cer, which is my certificate. You can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay. And under your certificate request file name, all right, it should be right here. Certificate request file name. I'm going to select appliance. It should be a full path actually, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just say CSR. So it should be /nslog/SSL/colors.csr, right?
Okay.
Okay. And on this, on the CA certificate file name, if I scroll down, I've already installed the root certificate, CA certificate file name, choose file, appliance, right? And I'm going to use nsroot.cert. This is the certificate for the NetScaler itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I will open that up. That is there. I'm going to leave that as it is. And once you see as your CA key file name, that's going to be nsroot appliance key file name, nsroot dot key, this one. This is the key that it will ask you for every certificate. So you have to have a private key, right? And I will leave everything as it is. And under the serial CA key file name, that's there. And scroll down, and this is your serial key. The every file, every certificate has a serial key, right? And this is going to be nsroot SRL and install that, and we are going to create. Now the certificate is created, a self-signed certificate. I'm going to create a certificate key pair now. So under this, I'm going to write colors.workspacelab.com, right? Are we good, sir?
Mhm.
And I'll leave everything as it is. I'm gonna give password 1, and I will uncheck that because I don't want to get notified, and I'll just create it. So I've installed it now, and I've said done. And I will save my configuration. If you want to see managed certificate, this is your managed certificate, and you will see your colors.certificate right here, right?
Okay.
If you want to view it, I can go and click on select it and view it. This is a certificate encryption, right?
Okay.
So now what I need to do is now I'm going to configure the SSL, right, sir?
Hmm.
Because now I've got the certificate, so I'll go to the load balancing, all right? And what I need to do is go to the virtual server. I'm going to add, I will give it a name, SSL underscore VSRV underscore RBG, right? And here I will select SSL. I'll give it an IP address 172.21.10.105. Port is 443. I will say OK. And on the no load balancing virtual server service binding, I will select all my red, blue, and green server and bind it. I am going to continue. This is where you install the certificate now, right, sir?
Okay.
So for individual services, you might have individual certificate. You're going to install it here. So I'll click on that and select, and this day is my certificate. And I
Hmm.
will go ahead and bind it, right?
Okay.
Okay, and I will continue and remove from my SSL parameters what the key. Okay, and say okay and done. And I will save the configuration, and I'll show you something now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. HTTPS 172.21.10.105 home.php. I'll just go advanced because it's a self-sign, so I'll just go advanced and proceed. This is your front end is HTTPS, right?
Right.
Okay. Now see here, if I go here and go to the status, your backend is HTTP. Can you see that?
Yes.
So front end is HTTP. So this is how you know that it is hitting the service. If it is hitting the service, as you can see, it is going to the service thread, and this is the IP address, right?
Hmm.
51, 52, 53, and at the back is HTTP, right, sir?
Yeah.
Now I will configure an end-to-end encryption, not bridging, end-to-end encryption, right?
I have a doubt here. So if we are keeping it on port 80, it means the site or the application, whatever, it has to be on the server on port 80 as well, right? Not on
Yes.
443.
Yes. So mostly when you do the website, uh, if you just want it on 443, then you have to specify port 443 on the server. Or if you want both, then you have to specify both the ports.
Okay. No, I'm Because usually in our environment, since we are using SSL, I believe our applications or sites are on
Yeah,
port
you,
3.
because
Is
that is how you have configured it.
yes.
Normally, if you see some organizations, they will have both the ports, 80 and 443.
Okay.
Okay, so like in my case, I have both 80 and 443 on my web servers.
Uh-huh. And then, so any traffic coming from load balancer uh, to the server is usually configured for port 80.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And if I want to configure your end-to-end now, I'll just show you another one. I'll create a service group, right? Okay. And I'll create a svcg underscore rbg underscore ssl, right?
Okay.
And I'll create an SSL group, SSL protocol here. All right. And I'll just say, okay.
Okay.
I'll leave everything as it is and I will add all my servers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to select server based and I'll select all my servers SRV, red, blue, and green, right, sir?
Okay.
And port 443. I can give you both if you want port 80 and 443. That's why I'm creating. You can create services for both the ports.
Okay.
All right. So create, and I will just say okay. Right, sir?
Mm-hmm.
And scroll down, and I will say done. I don't need to bind anything here. Okay. You see, it's still up. RBGSSL, right, sir? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna edit this SSL, this one, edit
Mm-hmm.
service group members, and I'm going to unbind it. Okay. Why? Because I'm going to bind the group.
Okay.
This is where I'm gonna bind the. No, hold on. Where am I? Okay, I've unbinded actually those. Okay, sorry, I'm on the wrong side. I was just supposed to be doing this here. I was supposed to save this and then go onto the virtual server, right? And edit this group. I'm going to unbind these services, individual services, and bind it to the group, right? Now I'm going to bind the group, right? Okay. And I will bind this to the group. Are we good, sir?
Yes.
And I'm going to bind it and say done, save it. One more thing that I'm going to do. Do you think it's going to open?
Mm, not sure.
See here, I will just browse this, right?
Okay.
Now see here, if I go to the statistics, your backend is also SSL now, right?
Right.
This is end-to-end encryption, not bridging, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you want me to redirect HTTP to HTTPS, for example, if I'm going to type in HTTP 172.21.10.105 home.php, it should not open, right?
Okay.
See, it won't open, right?
Okay.
I'm going to create a virtual server with no services on it, okay?
Okay.
I'm just going to use it as a redirect.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to go and create a. This is how I normally do in the production also. VSRV underscore RBG underscore SSL redirect. Okay. Protocol is, and I'm going to use the same virtual IP 172.21.10.105, right? I will say okay, and here I will just say continue, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I'll say done. You see, it's still down, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is down. So I'm going to edit it, right? And what I will do is once I edit under the protection here, I'll just give it a redirect URL.
Okay.
Okay, and that's it. And I'll just say okay and done and save it. So now you see it will open up. There you go. Are we good, sir?
Um, how is the redirect allowing it to open up?
Because I've redirected it to the same virtual IP. I've used the same virtual IP. That is how it is redirecting.
Okay.
You see, I'm using the same virtual IP. Can you see that?
So yeah.
So all I've done is just to do the redirection page. This is the one redirect URL. That's it.
Now you use HTTPS, so it's
Yes,
going to the 443. Okay.
yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is for SSL offload.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
You have any queries? Anything? We still have an hour.
Mm, yeah, I mean, I had like those doubts that I had. I thought, going by this course, those concepts would get cleared, but I'm still confused about those things. Like,
Because you're not showing me your console. I can't help you more than that.
yeah, I mean, if I had access to the console, I would be looking into it myself,
Yeah. So,
So,
I mean, what you're saying, I'm just going with your words and I'm trying to explain using your scenario wordings.
right, right.
If you had the access to the console, I would have taken you around with your console and
True,
solved the queries.
true, true. Yes.
You see, we technical guys, we need to get access to the console. We want to see what you are actually saying and asking.
Correct. Yes.
So if you can get the access, I can explain to you.
Hmm. So, no, that won't be possible in case of the topic.
So you see, this course is basically for you to understand the concept of the ADC, how it works, right?
Hmm.
Any vendor training that you would go with, they will tell you about how the product works.
Yeah.
No one will get into your production.
True, true. Yeah, but I wanted to ask, like, when you say this is an entry level course or entry level training, and if you go for the professional one, so
Mhm.
which one is the professional one? Because
What do you mean?
I remember, like, there was something only for 1 day, and there was some course only for 3 day, and I picked the one with the most number of days. I think this is the 5 day one.
No,
So,
this is the Citrix never has a training for 1 day, or it can have for 2 days. This is actually, if you see this one, this course, right?
uh,
Is having two parts. One which is the basic of the NetScaler, which is 3 days, okay,
okay,
and then the last 2 days, which is going to be your Citrix gateway and integration with the CWAT. That is for 2 days.
Okay.
But that does not make it a complete entry level course.
No, I mean, I'm forgetting the numbers. Let me just open it up at my side. Like this is the one. This one is uh,
7,
2 to 3, I believe. This
2 to
was
3,
for
yeah.
3 day, I believe, and 2 to 7 was for 5 days, and then
Now see here, you need to understand this. You're getting confused with the courses. PDF.
yeah.
So
So,
this is your only 3 days, okay? This is what you have. We are going through the 3 days, okay? Introduction, getting started,
mhm.
basic networking, ADC platforms that I told you yesterday, the HA, right?
Okay,
And load balancing, SSL offload, and security and monitoring your and troubleshooting, right?
okay,
This is the end of 2 to 3.
hmm,
This is what you do in the basic course.
right.
This is not even associate.
Yeah, but this is I believe I chose 2 to 7.
Yeah, because 2 to 7 is a combination of, I think, two courses, as I said. Okay, this is two, then 2 to 6. Okay, you have
Hmm.
chosen this one. You see, 2 to 3 plus 2 to 6. Okay,
Okay,
makes it 2 to 7.
okay,
In this, what we're gonna do on the last 2 days is gonna be authentication authorizations, right?
hmm,
I'm going to introduce you to the gateway, the app expert expressions, authentication, right? Your multi-factor authentication and SAML, and managing client connections, and then integrating with CVAD and configuring the gateway. So this is 2 to 6. So CNS 2 to 3, which they have taken the first 3 days of CNS 2 to 3 and last 2 days of CNS 2 to 6. That makes it CNS 2 to 7.
uh, okay. Because I remember, like, based on the course that was can I get this? CD. Yeah, so this one is the last module. If you go, this is the gateway and virtual app and desktops, right? Okay.
See, Bashrat,
Yeah.
you have, you see what you're saying. Yes, you have seen 2 days, but in 2 days, I would be just teaching you this, okay?
No, no. I meant to say that I saw that
Yeah,
course.
I'm trying
What
to
I
explain
did.
that. Hold on, I'm trying to explain, okay?
Mhm. Yeah.
There are some candidates who already done the basic because at that time they did not have the time from the office, so they went maybe with the first 3 days, and after some days or after weeks, after months, they decided to go with the 2 day training. All right, so that
Right.
when they do CNS 2 to 3 and 2 to 6, they have completed CNS 2 to 7.
Okay.
So 3 days. This is 3 days, as you can see, right?
Yes.
Okay, this is 3 days, right?
Yeah. And
CNS
then yeah.
CNS 3
Mhm.
and CNS 2 to 6 is 2 days. So 3 plus 2, they make it 5 days. So CNS 2 to 3 plus 2 to 6, they made it 2 to 7.
Okay. Then what about 2 to 5?
2 to 5, the first 3 days is the same.
Yes.
Okay. What changes in the end is this CNS 2 to 4, which is your traffic management only,
Okay.
where they teach you about content switching and global server load balancing. This is a 2 day course, right?
Okay.
So 223 plus 224 makes it 225.
All right. So
So this
yeah,
is
this
where we
is
teach you.
something what I was looking for. I mean, but I wasn't too sure, which one is more useful for me. I mean, I saw some of the rewrite responder URL transformations, content switching. Uh,
Now, what you can do later, instead
mhm.
of going the full 5 days,
Yeah.
you can just take CNS 224 the 2 days.
Okay.
But almost you'll see uh, all this is gonna change, and you'll see that you got the content switching, and you got the compression, and you got the GSLB. That's it. That's the only difference.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, this is about what I was, comparing to see which one is would be more preferable for me.
Right.
But in this, so which one wanted to understand, like when you say there's supposed to be a professional
Yeah.
course, which one would that be?
This one I'll show you. This is both of them, CNS 225 and 227 are associate course. Okay.
Okay.
I think I have the NS 301. Let me just look for it.
So the advanced features. Okay.
Advanced, totally advanced. I will not even tell you how to configure NetScaler here.
Okay.
I will not even tell you about certificates. I will assume here that you know the certificates.
Mhm.
I will not even talk about those things here. The prerequisite is for you to do either CNS 225 or CNS 227, right?
Mhm.
Before you can go with this one. Because here you're going to do WEF, you're going to
Okay.
create profiles,
Yeah.
you're going to implement, you're going to implement securities, right?
Okay.
Right? You're going to do bot protection, API protection, report responder logging, content inspection. You're going to do IP reputation, HTTP callout, IP rating, application quality of experience, right?
Okay.
And this is your introduction to AAA, more in detail now. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. This is what you have. And in fact, a single sign-on. Like I was like telling you, I don't know why you're using ADFS for single sign-on because I can just use SAML here. I'm not going to even configure ADFS. Okay,
Okay.
and customizations and intro. This is the ADM now, introduction to the NetScaler console.
Mhm.
All right, this is managing and monitoring the NetScaler console and managing your apps using the console tuning. So this is now more in advanced version of the NetScaler.
Okay.
This, as you see, I would expect you to know the certificates. I would expect you to know the content switching. I would expect you to know how to create services and virtual servers, right?
Okay.
Because here we will not be talking about those.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is your professional level. So this is the one that you can go at a later stage, not now.
Okay.
All right, so this is for you take this course when you have actually got some at least 1 to 2 years experience working with this associate level in your office. Good, sir.
Yeah.
So, do you want to do like HA lab or do you want to do the module one lab?
No, I'll review it.
Okay.
Yeah, from the.
Then let me show you the partition lab
Okay.
because with that partition lab, you will see that I'm going to integrate Active Directory, right?
Okay.
So this is now, and then when I see you tomorrow, then I'll tell you the theory of the partitions, right?
Mhm.
Is that fine?
Yeah, not a problem.
Is there where you can get access to your console tomorrow?
No, not possible because it's production. I mean, there is no way. If it had been my team, I could have requested the manager or
But
something.
you're asking questions where you don't have access to the console. How come?
Yeah, because like I told you, this is I haven't directly been working on it, and for years, like we are. The reason for me to take up this course is mainly because we've been struggling with them. The attitude of the
Because
teams
you're
is
saying
like,
that you're not getting your answers with your scenario, but also now I'm trying to, tally you asking me with scenario your queries because of your production, but you don't have access to the consoles. Then how do I even explain to you that scenario?
mhm. No, I asked in the sense that if you had done different kinds of implementations, I'm like
See,
I thought
I've
maybe you would have idea in
you
that
see,
sense.
you
Hmm.
see, if I show you, let me see if I can show you the PPTs of what I have done for others, but
Okay,
they will be totally different.
right.
Okay,
Hmm.
uh, they will be totally different.
Okay.
Let me see if I have that PPT somewhere. Now you tell me. Oh, just hold on. Uh, Let me just ask these guys to pause the video first.
Oi.
Just waiting for them if they can pause the recording. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, after I finish eating,
Mhm.
after I finish,
Hi, Bashrat.
Actually, yes, sir.
I think they will not be able to stop the recording, so I will just show you the partition. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I can't show you that because it's a bit confidential.
Okay. Okay.
I can't have it on recording. So
Mhm.
the thing to your okay. So thing to your requirement, and if you can give me that access to the console, then yes, I can explain to you very well
Mhm.
and solve all your queries there, right?
I get it, but it's not possible. I mean, I wish I had the access. It would be easier for me as well to understand the scenario better, but unfortunately,
Because
not.
what I wanted to show you is every client has a different scenario, right?
Correct.
Okay, so you guys are using, like, I have a client who's using Apache and they're using the ADC behind a net. They're using a Fortinet in front, right? Okay, and everything is going through the Fortinet from the Fortinet to the ADC, right, sir? Okay.
Okay.
So some of the sites, all the sites are working, but one is giving us a problem that if I disable the firewall rules, then it goes through. But if I enable it, it doesn't go through. So we came to the point that okay, I'm seeing the service hits, but I'm not getting a reply from the. Uh, I'm not getting the reply from the server, right?
Okay.
But it's hitting on the services. So I asked the guy, "Do you know your configuration of your Linux server?" He said, "Nope." And I also don't know Linux. So I said, and he said, then they're changing and everything. I said, then you rather wait and change.
Hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna log in.
Okay.
And I'm going to create some local users, right?
Okay.
You can create a local user for the NetScaler.
Hmm.
All right, so I'll just go, or you can extract it from the LDAP, Active Directory. Give me 1 second. All right, so I'm going to add the user. Uh, just go to your user administration and click on users and add the local user. As you see, I have the NS root, right? So I'm going to add a local user here. All right, and I will create a test user, right? Okay, with password 1. And I've created that local user, right? And there are inbuilt commands or the rules that you can select. You can go on to no system command policy and select that policy right here, right? I'm gonna make it as a read only, right? Okay. So I'll select the read only, but I can also create a custom policy. If I want to edit this, I can create my own command policy. I can be just taking this. You see, this is also regular expression.
Right.
And that is why I said on the first day, you need to know regular expressions.
Okay.
Okay, so this is like management. This is show the system configurations. Okay,
Okay.
show configuration status. Show me the NS config. Show me the saved config. Show me the running configuration. Show me the GSLB running configuration. Show me the audit messages. And I should be able to communicate with the tech support and show me the statistics, right?
Okay.
So I will select this and I'll give it a priority of 100
Hmm.
and I'll find it
Okay.
and I'll save it and done. Right. So I've created this user and I will save this. And if I want to create a, a custom command policy, that also I can do. I will just go under user administration and go to command policy. And I can add a command policy. So I can even edit any one of these. For example, this is for operators. You see the difference here? Operator can manage, show configuration status, look at the NS config, saved config, running config, right? GSLB configuration, audit, tech support, state, status, but he can enable and disable the servers or services also, right?
Okay.
He can see everything, but he is able to enable and disable the services. Are we good?
Yeah.
So I'm going to add and create a command policy, right? If you see a super user here, that's you will see it is only dot star. That means he has access to do everything, right?
Okay.
Okay. So, and if you see the read only, I can just edit it, and this is your read only, right? That I've just shown you. So I'm going to create a custom one, and I'm going to say add, and I will say show underscore only. So whenever you have a NetScaler, and with your NetScaler, you don't want, you should never give NS root account. You create another administrator account, okay?
Okay.
All right. And what I'm going to do is basically, I'm going to give, he will only be able to see the system information. So I will say show, all right, and show with the system configuration only, right? That's my command, and I'll create that. I'll go to the user, all right, and edit the test user, and I will go with the command policy, unbind it, and I will add the binding, and I will select the policy that I just created and save it. Are we good, sir? So if you see, if I'm going to log in as a test user, he will not be able to do anything. He can see everything, but he cannot. If I enable a feature, let's say I want to enable gateway, he will not be able to enable anything.
Hmm.
Even if I go on to the network IPs, he will see everything. And if I try to delete this, do you think he'll be able to delete? No, right?
Successful? No. Yeah. Okay.
So that is the show or read only, right?
Hmm.
Now, what you're gonna do is also, uh, I'm going to configure LDAP as my external authentication, right?
Okay.
So make sure whatever groups you have defined in your Active Directory for your administrators is the same, the way you have configured it, the way you have named it, whatever capital, small letters is gonna be the same way here also, right? Okay. And I'm not going to add users to it. It will be extracted from LDAP or Active Directory rather. So I will go to the system, and under the system, I will go to user groups, and I will say, not this one, where is it? Uh, User administrations and groups. And I'll add the group name, right? The same way that you have specified in the Active Directory, right? Can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
All right. And I will bind when you see, I'm not adding users.
Hmm.
Can you see I'm not adding users, right?
Right.
Because it's going to come from the Active Directory. So I will be using super user here. That's what I'm saying. Don't give account to your NS root account. And
Okay.
I will say create. I'll add another one, which is going to be our training underscore NS operators. Okay. Scroll down, bind that policy, and I'm going to give it a operator policy, right? He can enable or disable the policies only. Sorry, I need to say insert, and I'll say create. So I've got the two groups that I've created, right?
Yes.
Now I need to create or integrate LDAP, Active Directory, for authentication. And this is the same authentication policy you're gonna use to you're gonna use it with your VDI. So I'm
Okay.
gonna go to the authentication.
Hmm.
I will go into the policies, basic policies, and this is where you will select whether you want radius, LDAP, or local. I will select LDAP, right?
Okay.
Scroll up, I will see go to the servers. I need to add the server here. Now, this is the name that I'm going to give to my server, right? I will call it auth underscore LDAP underscore SRV, right?
Okay.
This is the name, and I'm going to go with the server IP. I'll say 172.21.10.103, right? And the server type is going to be Active Directory, port number 389, okay? And this is where you define your domain, that DC equals to workspace lab, okay, and comma DC equals to com, right?
Right.
And at the bottom, whoever is your administrator for the domain, okay, administrator bind DN, you're gonna say train AD user at workspacelab.com, and you're gonna give me the password 1. All right, and here When you scroll down, other settings, server name login attribute is the same account, okay? And under here, you're gonna say it's a member of, and here is gonna be CN, right? Okay. And if you want to test, we can also do the test. We can test the connectivity. See, it is reachable on 389, right?
Mhm.
And I've configured it, and I'll just say create. Now I've created that server. I will add the policy, and I'll just say, give it a name, auth underscore LDAP underscore policy, right? And already my server is selected, right? And all I'm gonna say ns underscore true to activate it. Are we good, sir?
Yes.
Now I'm going to do a global binding. Don't forget the binding. Now, do you see where I say policies is certificate is just one part, policy is another part, right?
Okay.
And I'm going to bind this globally. I'm going to select the policy, and this is binded on the whole of the NetScaler. So anyone who's going to come into the NetScaler will get authenticated from the NetScaler. So if I'm going to log out, and I will log in using one of the, see here, I will just say train ns admin password 1. You see, I did not add any users, did I?
Yes.
This is coming from the
And then from the AD.
AD. So I can just go to settings and configure advanced features. Now I can just go ahead and enable any other features that I want. That's it. And save it. So even if you go log back in as your admin NS root, you will see the same features enabled, right?
Okay.
So NS root password 1. Now, do you know partitions?
No.
Okay, do you know the thing that you don't get in partitions? You will not get gateway, okay?
Okay. So partitions is basically more like a virtualization or like segregation of some features or.
It's like a aggregation, right?
Hmm.
You see, it will have its own IP. It's an isolation, okay?
Okay.
It's an isolation. So if I create a partition, you see this gateway will go away. And WAF, and we will not have WAF also,
Okay.
okay? So I'm going to create a partition administrator first, right? Okay. So I'll go to the system, user administration and users.
Okay.
I'll add a user and I'll call it maybe padmin, right? Padmin1. Okay, I'll give it the same password. So and confirm the password. And I'll create, right? And I'll bind the system policy of the partition administrator. Okay.
Okay.
And save it. I'll add another one. Padmin2 password 1 password 1, right? Continue. Add that administrator as partition admin and bind it. And I'm going to bind it. Right, sir?
Yep.
I've created the partition administrator. I will now go and create partitions. So I'll go to the partition administration, no partition, click on that and configure, right?
Mhm.
Okay, and I'll just say P1 for example. You can specify the bandwidth, connections, number of the memory, right?
Okay.
And I will continue. This is where you can decide if you have different VLANs, you can add the VLANs on the partitions, right? So that particular partition will be on VLAN 2, 3, or 4, right? Because I only have one, so it's binded on partition number 1, right?
Right.
So I'll just go next, and here I will add the administrator under no user, and I will go with padmin 1, right?
Okay.
And bind and continue and done. I'll create another partition, and we can go with P2, right?
Okay.
Continue and go with P2, right? Okay, so I've added the user and I'll say done and save it, right? Now see here, uh, you see as a main administrator, I can go to any partitions, right?
Yeah.
So I'll go to, let's say, P1 and see whatever we configured in our default, you will not be able to see it.
Mhm.
If I go to traffic management, you see load balancing is not even enabled, right?
Yeah.
So if I go to system, you'll see the IP system networking. You will not see the IP addresses that we had.
Okay.
And as I said, when you create partition, you see I don't have any of those integrated products. I don't have Citrix gateway here, as you see here, right?
Okay.
So you see here, if I go to default, you will be, uh, you see here, I have a lot of integrated Citrix products, Zen Mobile, Zen App, right, and Gateway, right?
Mhm.
But if I go onto the partition one or any of the partition, all those are all those will disappear.
Okay.
Okay, that means in partition you cannot use uh, the gateway, right, or the WAF. Okay, the
Okay.
WAF will be used from the default, right?
Okay.
So I'll just create one thing for you very quickly, and I will show you. I'll just add a server, whatever server. Okay, test underscore VSRV, right? I'll just give it 172.21.10.105. I can reuse those IPs. I don't have a problem.
Okay.
All right, and I'll just say continue, done, and save. Right? Now see here, I'm gonna log out. This is on partition 1, right? Can you see that?
Yes.
This is on partition 1. So if I go on to the default partition, you will not see it under the virtual server.
Okay.
So if I go to traffic management, load balancing, virtual server, you will not see the test,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I'm
Yeah.
gonna log out and I'll log on to admin2, right? Okay, password 1. If I go to traffic management, you see load balancing is not enabled, right?
Yes.
This is partition number 2.
Okay.
And if I go back, you'll see that I don't have that virtual server, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot see what's happening in partition 1, and you'll only have access to your partition.
Right.
But if I log out and sign in as NSRoot, the super user, right? I will be able to see it. So I can go to any partitions from here, right, sir?
Yes.
Are we good?
Yeah.
So this was your partition lab. You're securing your ADC, right?
Mm-hmm.
And configuring the resources within the partitions.
Okay.
Right, sir? They were asking you to add services, but I just added a server, so just to show you that.
Correct. Okay.
All right. So let me know if you have uh, any questions.
All good for now.
All good for now.
Yeah.
Just go through the lab guide now and see if you what you want to do tomorrow.
Okay.
And just to show you what we have done so far, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have actually covered a lot of topics, and we are well on time as well.
Okay.
So we have done the getting started, basic networking, and all, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And hardware platforms. You have done the high availability. You have done the lab for the basic load balancing, and I've shown you the SSL offload, right?
Right.
Tomorrow I'll go through the PPT of securing the ADC and then tell you the and then give you time. I actually want you to do all the labs.
Okay.
I want you to do module 1, module 2, module 4, 6. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you've already done. You've already done 5, right? So we can. You can do that. So maybe what we can do is after tomorrow, maybe you can just concentrate on the lab parts, right?
Okay.
Okay. Are we good, sir?
Yes. Yes.
Tomorrow, I really want you to do all the labs, okay, and then or we can continue with the theory, okay,
Okay.
and and then maybe Saturday you can do the labs, or Sunday you can do the labs.
Yep. That way is fine as well.
Yeah. So I will show you this. Uh, I will do this too, and uh, theory. I will do the module 8 also, and then maybe you know what, Bashrat, let's tomorrow do the labs.
Okay.
Okay, you know why? Because when you come for this part, authentication and gateway, you should know what you have done from the beginning.
Okay.
All right. So I think tomorrow, just do the lab module number 1, 2, 4, 6, and 7.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. See you
All right.
tomorrow. Thank you. Have a good
Thank you.
day.
Okay.